Sessions with Mary Jane. I am your host, Jordan Freed.
And I'm Brendan O'Brien.
And I'm Reena Ezra.
Whoa, 3 of them? That's been so long since all 3 of them have been in the same place.
It's been a while.
It gets very crazy in the fall, and the summer and the spring. It's just crazy all year round. But we have an amazing guest for you tonight. He is a very gifted musician, music producer, music writer, and he's also very gifted in other ways as well.
Just a general creative thinker and spirit.
Yes.
So, give it up for Freddy Salgado, La Cara, FACEcadet.
Shit, La Cara, in the house.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes.
Happy to be here. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Jordan, right? Because when we went to go see the documentary, it wasn't the opening. I was being a little hesitant in watching this documentary I was a part of for 3 years. But
tell the people at home about this documentary. So there's a documentary that features you.
Yes. It's called The Remedy. It stars me, FACEcadet, alongside another MC based out of Newark, New Jersey, Serenity, TKD. So it's basically just us and our everyday, what we do, and we get to this point of a moment of expression, a moment of letting out our creative side that with the things that we've interpreted in our lives, either through work, through how we grew up, the things that influenced us. So I was really worried about watching it. I know me and Sierra would have these conversations that I don't know how I feel about it. It's been 3 years. I guess when it's finally said and done and it's there, you're kind of like, oh, it happened, right?
Yeah.
And so you really start to reel it in and think did I say everything right? Did I do everything right? How did I look? How am I represented? And so I kind of was sort of daunting the whole feeling of knowing that this thing was out, this documentary was out. Shout out to Boris. Oh my God, sorry Boris, almost forgot.
You remembered it though. You're good. Boris,
yes.
You remembered it.
Oh yes, the
just
bomb.
Blame it on the
bomb. Right? But yeah, ultimately, I just kind of didn't want to watch it until I did, and going into what was the place in Newark?
I think it was Express Newark. Is
Oh, yeah.
So going in there, and I'm with Sierra. I'm nervous as hell. Oh no, it's gonna be on a screen. How many people are gonna be there? And all of a sudden, I see Jordan, and he calmed me down. I was just like, okay, all right.
We were both lost.
Yeah, we were both looking around. Sierra.
I think there's a film showing here, and everybody's just like, I don't know. I think maybe.
And just seeing Jordan kind of just balance me out. We go in there and sit and watch, and there's about maybe 14, 13 people. But it was a really nice room that we were in. Aesthetically very pleasing.
Good showing for a week.
Yeah. And it was playing, and I'm just at the edge of my seat, what am I about to say there? I think I remember what I did there, but what happened after? I hope it wasn't something crazy or something dumb I said. And so watching it, I'm just loosening up. I'm like, okay, I like this. I think I like who I see up there. Mm-hmm. I think it's very true. I think he captured the essence of what I try to sprinkle in my day-to-day, my artistry, and how I work and how I speak with people, because that's all I do is just bounce around and just enter people's world. And I say theirs because I just want to pop in and just listen and understand and see if I can capture something worth capturing and just kind of recording it in my subconscious that then later comes out in my music and how I write. And then sometimes I write to the point where it's what is it that I'm saying right now? Where is this coming from? And maybe it's not realized then, but I know it comes back around full circle. I'm like, oh yeah, that's where that comes from. So I've learned that in order for me to write my music, or in order for me to learn how to mold and shape my reality, I gotta keep going at that pace. So, but
and that was recorded during the time before the album was conceived, right? You were just kind of writing songs at that point and performing.
Yes. That's how I was understanding the songs, by performing them. Working on my craft now for 10 years. And this is my first album.
Congratulations, right? That's very
after
cool.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, can we rewind a little bit to what was the first instrument you picked up?
Guitar.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm lying. Trumpet, but that was for a little bit.
Okay.
Donald Trump was the first instrument he picked up. He said trumpet.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the fascination with the trumpet?
The loudness.
Yeah.
Just being loud, and I think I was kind of... I'm Ecuadorian, so when I would go to Ecuador, and because I was in middle school, they would say, oh, you're at the age of the donkey. Burro, era burro. Like, because, like, you're awkward and you're trying to understand who you are. So, with that, I guess it carried with me when I was able to do a course in middle school where I can pick up an instrument. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I just want to be just loud, obnoxious a little bit. And, I looked at the trumpet and it kind of symbolized that a little bit. So I jumped into it, and my dad hated it. I lived in the basement, and the first house my dad bought, and I lived in the basement part. So, just cranking that thing and just kind of him
You
waiting.
playing that thing, you stay down there.
Like waiting 20 minutes, and then he's like, "Hey, so how's it going?" I'm like, "It's going." He's like, "Yeah."
That is remarkable, though, how it just evolves, and you're
Yeah.
playing a bunch of different instruments, and then you do it like do you have a different, unique attachment or relationship with each instrument?
I would say so. Yeah, it allows to kind of stretch out an aspect of how I guess I would approach that, right, and how it would represent me, because that's how I try to do things. I'm like, okay, well, I see it. I see a template, instructions, and I'm like, okay, now here I go with my signature.
Yeah, got you. So, yes, your style.
But yeah, that's for all the instruments. But I think my favorite instrument is definitely the guitar.
How come?
Because it's the one that, like, even freestyle-wise, like, if I'm just riffing and then I'm just adding words to it and then I start getting playful and then create melodies, it really pulls me into feelings. And sometimes I'm not even saying anything. I'm just like, but I'm just kind of feeling sad. And so, okay, I feel sad there. What are the words I can put in to represent that even better? Because I try to capture the tone.
So you think of it rhythmically before you think of it lyrically.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be a feeling.
Yeah,
So,
got you. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, sorry, back to you, Jordan. Where we began, the trumpet.
And Jordan.
Oh, no. That was just the jumping off point. How was it? Did you live in Jersey your whole life, or were you in Ecuador when you were born?
So, no, I was born in Hell's Kitchen, New York.
Hell's Kitchen, word. Okay.
So I was out there until my dad remarried, and then we moved out to Harrison, New Jersey. But yeah, I lived in New York for 12 years.
How was that?
It was cool. I loved it. I got to... I loved it. I still have fond memories of PS 111, mostly because I was in a show in a fourth grade play, and it was a big play. It turned out, and I think that's where I started kind of like liking this and performing at a public school. In the 90s, there was a lot of kids. That's when it started like, oh, we got to figure out what we're gonna do to house all these kids now. And that's when they started building these like makeshift trailers on the side of these buildings to house all. Yeah, so it was a lot, and so to perform in that public school, it was huge because I had a leading role. So so to kind of and I liked it. So when I leaned into it like that, I was like, oh, I want to be in this area, or rather, when I jumped off the stage, it's like, I think I want to keep carrying this energy. Not just like, oh, it's only a thing, and then I'm off, and I don't know. It's just another person.
Yeah, right.
I want to see if I can just keep going and going and
Yeah.
going and going and going.
So how did you find the other significant beings in your life? How you, like, the other people you met to form your music group, or other people who were influencing you along the way as you were growing as a musician? you met? Like, how do you, like, you just met them in different walks of life?
Yeah, I know there's a lot. Even now, like, I look up to a lot of individuals and contemporaries, you know. Yeah, it started with the big names, but I think more so now, being 36, and you kind of ask yourself, like, should you just keep working and just get your stuff, get your house, and pay all, have all your bills figured out, no debt, and do that, or, just continue, like, juggling the two. And I learned to realize with having my contemporaries and those in my community, they keep pushing me to want to keep creating music and give it that reason, that push. Like, well, if the whole world doesn't listen to it, I got 20 people that are, and we're like building off of that. Because homie's over here with a harmonica, killing it, right?
Yeah.
And saying his poetry, or somebody else is doing it with just guitar and singing, etc. But there are people that I shake hands with, and I salute to, and I respect, and I come watch and support. So I have a reason, and I'm thankful to to have that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you believe in it, you believe in it.
Yeah.
That's not going to go away.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to connect with your music.
Yeah.
And all the other people that you've collaborated with. So, that's very special.
So, but yeah, my community heavily influences me. Sierra says it all the time. I don't listen to like new music anymore because I'm just listening to my community.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, new music from your community, I guess.
What new music?
Well, no, I guess that is new music.
Yeah, oh yeah.
People are making it, yeah.
So I love
Also, it's so less polished. I feel like once you listen to the big names and you're like, okay, so the top of the game, whatever. But then it becomes so mainstream. And then it becomes like copycat. And then it becomes like, well, they just, like you hear a bunch of their stuff is just sampled from other people's in the past and do whatever. And then you're just like, well, then let's go to the root, or let's go to the, and like other people just in your own neighborhood are making things that are just wicked, that are just super, like, it just catches you off guard.
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah, does knowing how a person is, or like what their personality is like, make you like feel their music differently, enjoy their music differently?
I'm glad you're saying that. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Just exactly that. Just exactly that.
His mind.
Yes, point, put me on the board.
Because when I go up to people like Lord Bezel or SB or Comrade or Turkish, Samad, and I have a conversation with them, and either we're mostly at shows. Sometimes I'm in their homes, not all of them, but some. I get a sense of who they are, right? I get a real sense, and so then when you start listening to them and you like holding space with them and you're listening to the music, you're like, yeah, no, this makes sense. And when he says it that way, it's like because that's who he is and that's how he rolls it, and that's. But yeah, absolutely, and I think that's why I like listening to my contemporaries a lot.
Yeah, can you get a sense of someone's personality just by listening to their music, do you think?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do different personalities sound like? Just kind of vaguely from like what like.
This is like his superpower.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess like even
Trumpet boy.
Even like can you get a sense of like someone is like obnoxious or pathetic or like things like that for music?
I think okay. So
this means you're so pathetic.
no, empathetic.
Oh, I thought you said pathetic. I was like,
yo, can you talk about the pussy by the music? No, empathetic. The good kind of pathetic.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it goes with also the body language, right? For example, when you hear a track, or the people that I listen to or I see that I'm trying to, I guess I don't want to say size up, but try to understand, when they perform, I don't even think they know deeply what it is they're saying, or if they believe it 100%, right? So, when it's kind of like you see it, just how they move, like how they carry themselves on stage, and I guess whatever intention it is that they're trying to put out. But based on body language, for me, is how I'm able to more or less figure out, like, oh, he's on a lower vibration. He's not really knowing like who he doesn't really understand the grand scale of what it is he's really saying, or what he is around. Or in another way where I can see somebody with a lot of heart, and maybe his wordplay or the way he's rapping or his voice isn't there, let's say per se, but he's bouncing. He's got like this fire in his eye, and he's carrying himself with some charm because he's committed to whatever the final result it is that he's giving. He's like, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Then that kind of tells me like, oh, he's got heart. And
well, is it that like every person, even if it, especially if it's each new song they do, it's like a whole new development. They're processing something new for the first time every single time. Would you say that this is the case? Like if someone's leading with their heart, or they don't really know, like you said, what the grand scale of this is yet, or is it because they haven't figured it out yet? Maybe they have to play the song a bunch more times, or maybe they have to listen to it a bunch. Like you said, like if it teaches you something. Because every new song you do, I mean, you have a different relationship with each song, right? And when you were saying before, I just want to tap into before I forget, when you're saying, which I think is so good, I never thought of it in terms of music, when you're saying as you're performing, you're understanding it as you go.
Yes.
And you have to perform it to understand it. Yeah. And that I only thought in terms of like, oh, stand-up. Like Jordan, like he has to test out his jokes on stage in order to know what works and what doesn't. I thought, oh, music, you just do all your prep beforehand and then you just do it. And then I'm like, and then it's like good, or people like it or people don't like it. And that's like, I never even thought like, oh, this is chemically, neurologically, like this is how they're processing it on stage, is also going from one note to the next and doing like is during the performance. It's not just the pre-stage. Yeah. So I just thought that was really neat.
You know, it's funny. Sierra would tell me like when you perform, you gotta act like you're doing it for the first time. Like you gotta like fall in. It's almost like you gotta fall in love with just like doing it, and also letting go in a sense of like, let me see where it takes me.
Yeah.
Like, let me just trust and not be scared and just like let go and feel the song, you know, be the song.
Was that difficult at all for you to do?
No, I think because I did it, you know, in that show and also being a part of a church and singing for, you know, so I was able to pick up that sort of confidence, right? Because I don't think I have the best voice. Right, I don't even think I'm like the best dancer or anything, but I'm just, I know. When it comes to Bob Dylan,
but it's also what are you saying? Right.
I do think you have a nice voice, and I think you have a very unique voice.
Yeah. Also agree with that.
Your album sounds very unlike. I don't know if I could name another album it sounds exactly like. Like it might draw influences from a lot of albums, but it's
a unique sound.
It's definitely like all your sounds. It's not like another rapper or another singer or another artist. Like it feels like it's just you,
which is extremely refreshing.
Awesome.
Because you think everything's already been done before. Everything already sounds like the way it is. Everything already, or people are just getting so much influence that they don't know what is their own signature, you know, piece, whatever that is. So it's very refreshing.
Yeah.
Also, it clicked where I was like, oh,
it's really nice.
I was like, the music and the name, like there's a connective tissue there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
At what point in your musical journey did you feel like you, for the first time, you were like, I really found my sound, I really found my voice, I really found like my persona or my identity as a musician?
Wow. You know, I think I realized it the more I started just yelling. Right, where I was just like just yelling because it's like it's the craziest sound, but if I can, you know, just dominate that space where I can, you know, just sounds like, oh, we're gonna see just reaction, and we're gonna see his spectrum of where he can take his voice.
Yeah, right? And like the extremities of how far he can go, right?
The range.
Which ancestrally, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our ancestors making music in centuries ago was just by sounds, just by yelling.
Yeah. So I think when I started just yelling, where I could just do that, just I don't care, even if it's 2 people or a bunch of people or people that maybe are scary looking, I'll still do that yell, you know, and feel like okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna just be cute for a minute, but when you met Sierra, did your music and your voice change?
Oh, it started with Sierra.
Oh, I thought you weren't doing any like experimentation with music before her.
Well, I was.
Or also, okay.
But I guess what I was trying to say is, with my with just the project and who FACEcadet.
That right?
is,
Okay.
That whole process, started almost 10 years ago, and it started when I lived in San Diego, and that was when, 3 months before. I left, me and Sierra, we left, me and Sierra were talking, getting to know each other.
Oh, I see.
And then, we took a risk, we took a gamble, like, let's go to the West. Then we went to the West, and, we tried it out there, and I was like, okay, well, now that I'm out here, I can work on some things, kill some habits that I was doing. I was like, maybe I could start writing an album, I don't have distractions, or figure out maybe not an album, but figure out what am I going to do musically. Like, I want to create an identity in the music scene, so what would that be? What would that look like? And so
what's that concept?
Yeah, it started there. So, Sierra helped with that. She was able to take my lyrics and read them and just, ask me, like, what are you saying? Like, what does this mean right here? And you're spelling this wrong, and this is grammatically incorrect. ripping it. So, but the thing is, with that, she allowed me to, like as I write abstractly, but poetically, and I think it's open to your interpretation.
Right.
And I think I was able to do that. Excuse me.
This break is brought to you by water.
I'm
hydrate.
I'm rapping right now. I'm rapping, and it's because I hit the bomb. And Sarah and I, we've actually been cutting weed out a little bit more.
Same Z's.
But because it's today and it's a podcast, and me and Sarah have been working really hard these past couple of days. Why not?
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah. What have you guys been working hard on? What's been going on?
So we've got the Cat Cafe. That's been a work in progress for like a year and some change.
I've been telling so many people about it.
Yeah.
So many more friends have been like, "Oh, I'm looking for blah 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 blah," and I'm just like, "Well, have you heard of this place? They were working on a new thing, and because it's so true. You need to spend time with them to know what clicks and personality. It's just great." Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, just that. Not just that. Just the Cat Cafe. We were at Wendy's, one of our clients in New York, and she, she's trying to relocate to a new spot on the east side, and we've been helping her with all that, that whole transition, packing, organizing, cleaning, and unpacking, setting it up, and she still has to relocate, and we were doing that all day yesterday and today at our other clients, helping and take a bunch of old furniture to Goodwill, places that would take donations and sell it. And we still got a bunch of stuff in the truck. We got some stuff. You guys want to check out the truck? But yeah, no, we did that, and then I got my contracting.
Yeah, I want to shift into that
License this year. Thanks to Sierra.
Yeah, shout out to Sierra.
So we doing the back end work. Listen, I was a great test taker, but when it came to homework, right there in class, all the time. So, but yeah, it just goes to show you, I just like excelling in the moment, but when it comes to just things that lag, like homework, I'm no good. But yeah, she helped me get my contractor's license. I got my first project. I've been working on my first project since October, renovating a whole basement, boxing it out, everything, framing, sheetrock, compound, painting, trimming, installed 4 doors, and but yeah, so it's a big project, and I was the head on that, and it was my first big gig, just getting my license 2 months ago. October, right? Everything was in October. So yeah, and that's been going good. And I've got some other prospects, wrote out some proposals. So it's a really cool aspect to be in. Like, okay, now I gotta figure out I'm gonna make this work financially and with the material, and
That's
if I get a
tapping
worker,
into another creative
problem
solver. Yeah, another creative side for sure.
Homework,
No, the word homework needs to just be rebranded because we have
but-
this bad association with it, right?
Well, it comes with the change, so that's
Yeah.
When did you start doing remodeling, renovation, contractor type stuff?
I guess I took it seriously when we came back from Colorado Springs 5 years ago, and I was helping the family with their property, so they kind of showed me how to just understand the building, how it works, what you need to do when there's certain situations, how to fix things aesthetically, so they taught me a little bit of all those trades, and from there it just kind of opened up to Sierra. You feel me? She had this kind of decluttering business, and some of the clients needed somebody to put up their television and put up the frames, and Sierra's like, oh, you can do that stuff, it's easy. So it started there, and from there just clients asking me to do other things, and I'm like, yeah, YouTube, okay, I think I can do this. And again, like that approach, it was because to learn the trade in that time, to this point, I think it was like a solid 2 years where I just started taking it serious, and my clients were asking me big time stuff like build me a room, build me a record. No, it started with a recording booth, right? I built it on plywood and on caster wheels and 2x4s and double side windows, all that. And so I was like, okay, I can make a box. I can make a box.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna make a cat cafe construction fusion HGTV show?
Will the cats be doing construction?
On Netflix, it's the couple that comes in and just oh my god, I watch that.
Listen, as much as I give my wife props, after the opening, that's the last Cat Cafe project I'll be involved in. It's a lot of work. And a lot of cats.
Yeah. Do you relate to cat personality?
It's funny because I didn't like cat. Oh, I was indifferent. That's wrong. I was indifferent.
Yeah.
I met Sierra. She had 2 cats. And
his identity's completely disappeared. Two Sierras now.
How about the day you were born?
It's funny because I didn't have a cell phone for the first 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So you have to call Sierra to get to me.
Wow. And she was your assistant.
Yeah. And by the way, it was by choice. Because when I got back, the in-laws were like, you need to get a phone.
Yeah.
And they paid for my phone. So that's why I have a phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, back to indifferent towards cats. That you just over time just see your
cats. I love that. Cats.
You do have cat vibes.
Now I love
your energies.
I love Winona. I love Winona so much. I loved Batman and Panda. But I guess because we got Winona as a kitten, and they were already bigger cats, and they sprayed my boots because they were like, "Who is this? Who's this man?" And so, Sierra had to get them fixed because of that. They were like, a territory kind of thing. Anyways, but I grew to love them. And then when we finally, and they passed on, but once we finally got to get our own cat, and I got Winona, and I got to see her grow, and just her mannerisms, like, oh. You my vibe kind of cat. I like how she's very affectionate, but at the same time she likes her space, and I think I'm the same way. I think Sierra can contest. I could definitely I love you, I got you, but I'll just be in the other room, and I want to be there. You just stay here, okay? Yeah. And what are you doing? No, I'm in this room. but I just like to know that she's next to me kind of thing. But so I identify with that, and I kind of like that love language a little bit. Maybe if it was being done to me by Sierra, maybe I wouldn't like it so much. I don't know if it's a person, but from a cat, I'm like, you get it. You get it. You might kind of vibe. So yeah, I'm a cat person for sure. And then I have Willow, my lovely lab mix.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's She's very angst, but super sweet, and she's great off leash. Yeah. And we didn't even train her; like she just likes to be by us.
Oh, that's good. Thank God. Yeah.
So because of that love and affection, she's got a big spot in my heart.
Yeah. How old is she?
She's 2.
Okay.
She's gonna be 3 in January.
Okay. So like, is the angst thing like a teenage thing? Is that what it is, or is that just like her personality thing?
She's just like, well, I don't know. She's just very like chill out. She's my little courage.
I mean,
yeah.
Can you blame her? It's 2022.
Yeah.
She started to she'd be like, oh my God, the world! It's so many terrible things!
Yeah.
Trump's back on Twitter! Of course, I totally understand.
No, and during that, we got her too, right, at the pandemic, and the cat, and it was cool because we had the Winona and Willow, both as kittens, and puppy, and they grew up together. So to have these two kind of...
They got along.
Yeah, they got along. They love each other. Oh, you hear them in the morning
so
just wrestling.
That's so good.
Get out! Get out, the two of you, because... Yeah, they love each other. They make a lot of noise with each other. They're a little duo, and that was a great thing to have during the pandemic, just to kind of like look how cat and a dog gets close and they can become friends, and that's nice, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, that's like the good thing about animals is like they don't have any of the BS that humans have, so it's like. Obviously, sometimes animals don't get along, but like it's like there's like something like very inspiring about being like, look at them. They may not speak the same language, but they're gonna get along at the end of the day.
Better side, exactly.
What was that thing one of our friends was showing us where some people are training their dogs to talk with those buttons, but the dog became so self-aware of its existence it went into depression or had anxiety.
No, wait.
Yeah, one of the dogs, was so self-aware of it. And it's just like, this is why they do not have the capacity. This is why humans are upset. Because we have too much self-aware. Don't do that to a dog. But it's a huge, I don't know how it started, but it was very trendy on.
I gotta check that out. Yeah, we see this little husky one. This little one that she's like, hey. It's like,
it's
like, treat.
Yep.
Now.
I probably saw the video,
It's terrible. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's really unusual.
Yeah. I wonder what animal is like the least self-aware, do you think? Or it's like least intelligent even? Not to like shit on the animal, but I'm trying to
we're thinking of the stupidest
thing. I'm like, what animal am I seeing? I'm like, man, what a dummy.
Flamingos are known for being pretty dumb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their brain size is very small. Not like your size of your brain, it has to do with your neural capacity, but they are very limited. I mean, if we're not going down to like a single cellular organism.
Hey, they can be smart. Who knows? I mean, they're survivors,
No, well, how they're made though is not as complex as how multicellular organisms made. But I would, maybe my vote would be for a flamingo. Because even ants are extremely intelligent. So it doesn't matter by size. Like there are very, very intelligent insects and like birds who literally weave their, make their nests the way we actually sew with needles. They do that. So it's just like, like what? They've known this for this long, or how did we copy it from them, or like what? Like
no, I remember I had a very like monumental class when I was a junior in high school. I think in my chemistry class. I remember like in some way we were like all talking, and like my science teacher was like very outside the box kind of thinker. Like definitely took acid. Definitely was like very encouraging to like psychedelics and like that kind of mindset. And I remember like, we were talking about how like someone was like, oh like. Ants are so stupid, and then my teacher's like, oh really, why do you think that? And he's like, oh, they don't like talk, they don't communicate like we do. And then it's like, well, couldn't you say that they're more smart because they don't have to waste time with all the words that they're saying? And I'm like, he just wants us to shut up. That's where Roberts is smart. But for real, I'm like, wow, like intelligence is not just saying a lot of things. It's saying the right things at the right time, you know, and having the wisdom to know when the right time to speak is, and then.
Which bringing it back to music though, what you were saying made me think of I just recently have started listening to only instrumental music. I stopped listening to like just lyrics. I would always which I was gonna ask you, first thing when you listen to a song, do you go towards not when you're making one, but when you're listening to other people's music, do you tap into the lyrics first, or you tap into the, like I said, rhythm or how like melody, whatever, of course, because that evokes feeling. But yeah, that was just like for me personally. So that's my question. But also for me personally, that was just I don't know why. I don't know why I like transitioned. But maybe because there is like so much talk in the world, and then I just wanted to shut that out and be like, no, whatever they're trying to say, they say through this. They can just say through instrument. Or Laura Veirs, who was that we were listening to? That she was part of what band? Help me, Jordan.
I don't remember what band she's from, but that was the person you were probably listening to.
Yeah, her, yeah. But she's doing more experimental things with, she was on Mark Maron's podcast, but with instrumental music. And it was just so true. It was just, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think, again, for me, it starts with feeling. How's it making me feel right now? And then from there, it's like, oh, I like that melody. And then it's lyrics. Okay, what are you saying? And that's how I kind of create a song or, you know, just see how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Is there something you won't listen to? Or something you're like, nah, I tried. I keep trying to listen to this and I just can't connect it.
I could definitely sit in and listen to just about anything. I mean, maybe some songs or a set, I'll listen to 2 or 3 songs, and if I don't like them, I'm like, okay, well, that's it. I'm gonna go. So okay, that's all I can tolerate. But for the most part, I think I would give everything. Everything is
really open.
Yeah, just because.
So there's no genre you shut out.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Would you like when it comes to like so going off what you were saying about like the way that you like it's like you're attached to the feeling, right? Would you say that you more often like you like go in search of a feeling and then use music to get there, or like the feeling comes to you and you kind of ride that, or do you like write like maybe you have one feeling and you like start playing to try to get away from that feeling? Or D, all the above.
Oh, as an escape.
Yeah. Like where.
Like you had a bad day at the dentist, and you're like, I gotta write something totally opposite.
Right.
Of how this bad day at the dentist made me feel.
Yeah, an anti-cavity.
Wait, do you mean that as like anti-gravity, but it's anti-cavity?
It's all of it, man. It's all of it and none of it at the same time.
Wow, Cara.
That's very
Yeah.
So I think I create my best work driving, which I don't recommend you do just to be in the car.
Interesting.
Blow the trumpet! Blow the trumpet!
But I think the motion of going, and I think that's my vibe. That's my vibe. Like the push forward. Like, okay, I don't want to, I can't be sad right now. Everybody's sad. So what do I, what's my thing? And that's like, go, get up, go. I don't want to do this, but you got to go. Just do it. Push. And so I try to find a frequency that, takes me there. And then once, I feel that motion of going and I'm driving, I'm just kind of like just imagine like a ninja just flexing. He's going. He's in the zone, and so it opens me up, and I listen to a beat or a composition that's not only a hip hop track, and go from there, and just catch a melody. Ride that wave. Just I'm on a surfboard right now because that's how I want to carry the cadence. So what does that mean? So I kind of drag the word a little bit. And so with that, I'm like, okay, so what would be an opening word that can emphasize on that feeling of me just dragging a little bit? And so it's like, what would be a word that would carry it? Weight, right? So that's something heavy. So you could be in a heavy spot, but from that heavy spot, you could still push forward, move forward, go, and then kind of builds into like your legs marching in front of each other until you're running, until you on a bicycle, in a car, a rocket shit, and then just that's how I try to get it going, like rolling. So, and I think that's also like a natural state too. Just going. I think that's how we were built. So, I even try to use the root of that deep root of like, this is just direction, give them direction. Straight.
You're making me think of potential and kinetic energy.
Yeah.
Just by saying that, honestly, is what like how you're saying that is very, very natural. That is just like the laws of the current, like the world we do live in that existed before us, and like that totally makes sense how you process that way or things. The outcome is from that. Wow. Yeah. A lot to think on after this podcast for sure.
I want to know a little bit about how the album cover came about.
Ooh, the album cover. It was a great design by Sierra's brother, brother-in-law. This is he's actually, he does some pretty big comics. He's done stuff for Star Wars. Where's Wookiee? It's kind of like Where's the Waldo. Okay. He's done book 1, 2, and 3, so he's got his name up there with Disney. Ninja Turtles, Transformers. He was writing the stories for the Dredd comic line. Okay. Judge Dredd for a bit. But he does big things. And it was funny because like I wanted him when I started dating Sierra, and I knew when she told me about her brother and I saw his work, I was like, oh, this is the guy. Like I'd love for him to do something for me, but he's serious. He's got big names under his belt. And so when I would make my music and like have an idea for a demo, I'm like, I would love Ulysses to make art for this, but it's like it's not the time. You don't call him for demos. Like you call him for the real deal when you're serious. And so it finally got to that point, and I had this idea of me being in the city because I'm a city kid, Hell's Kitchen, and even where I'm at, Elizabeth, it's like a mini New York City. I think that's why I have a soft spot for it, like a real soft spot, because it reminds me of where I grew up. And that's where I think I that's what I represent, that culture of that. And so I wanted that to be in the background and kind of just showing just the city and just me with my belt, my tool belt, because I just want to fix something. I want to fix the city, maybe, city, one pipeline at a time, So, so that, that was the idea. I wanted to kind of just keep true to the essence of who I am. And that's the truth. And when I had the idea, I first presented it to Melody, Ulysses' wife. And I was like, I'll pay you for this, and this is the concept. And, she was asking me to describe to her, like, me, and just give her words, actions, adjectives, nouns. And she was writing. And she's like, okay, from this information I compiled, I can see what I can formulate, right? But then maybe a month or two, just following up because the music was getting finished, she sends me a message like, hey, listen, Ulysses is actually going to do it. I'm just like, what? Ulysses is going to do it? And he didn't charge me.
Wow, cool.
Wow.
He didn't charge me. That's
so sweet.
And, but yeah, I'm close. I'm close with my brother-in-laws, Ulysses, George, Paris. I'm they're my bros, for sure. They're my bros. And I'm glad that I was strategic and I was patient, and I didn't get like too excited over something and kind of just like, hey, you think you can do this? And he's like, no. And then it's like something else. Hey, you can do this. Yeah. I waited for the timing. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
But you got to think on a higher level with these fools.
Wow.
Because I'm the fool.
Fred looked at me and said intelligence. That was a compliment of the year.
Gotcha.
Well, it was definitely worth the ask.
Yeah.
I've been beer tending lately at Foreign Objects in Monroe. If anybody's looking for a drink on a Friday, Saturday, or something. But sorry, soft plug.
That schedule exactly 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I'll be leaving my house around this time. So.
It gets very quiet. It can be your own bar.
If anybody needs a cold brew.
But I just play music while I'm there, and I added some of your music to the playlist one day, and people were like, oh, like, who is this? And I was like, oh, it's him. Like, and I gave them your album and everything, and I was like showing them it on Spotify, and I was like, yeah, no, add it, definitely.
Oh, thank you, man. That means a lot, and I am getting plays, and it's funny. It's like I would scratch my head in the SoundCloud era when I used to put my music up there. I'm like, dang, how can I get plays? Like, it's like 3 plays and it's me, you know. It's like,
I like it.
I wonder what it feels like if I had like maybe, you know, like a couple hundred plays a week, and you know, and that's what I get, and I love it. I love that people are, you know, I got a handful of people listening. That really makes me happy.
Yeah,
Really I think it starts the same for every artist, though. You're the one putting in all your, be like, yeah, I made something I want to listen to or I want to see. So you're like, you're your first, you know, views. Because you keep watching it, you keep seeing it. Like, I just love that. That's a very common thing for a lot of artists. But also, I do want to touch on what Jordan is saying is if people hear it for the first time, your music, then they see your art. It's just another piece that just reels people in, like the album cover. And I just like that there are layers.
Yes.
You know?
Ulysses, I asked him, it's like, so he's like, I got a list here of things. I'm going to think about it. And I was like, you know what, Ulysses, here. The album's done. Listen to it. Just listen to it and get a feel. And he said he would listen to the song when he was drawing it every time, like color everything. He colored it, everything. He was just like listening to it. And that was the byproduct of it. He's like, this is the direction you took me from listening to the album. So, and I think that's the energy. Yeah, that's the energy.
When you were making it, how did you know? Like, how do you know when a project is done, or is it ever done? Like, at what point were you like, yes, this is exactly what I want it to be? Like, how do you like? What's the feeling? How do you know?
So, waiting, I guess, 10 years. I think it was a documentary, right? And being 10 years and knowing that it was done and seeing, you know, how seeing it be successful, I said to myself, like, I need an album just in case when people see this, because it's being chopped around to small little media companies, you know. I should have something to back everything I'm saying on this thing, right? Because it'd be a bummer if like you watch it and you're like, hey, this is kind of good. All right, face, let's see.
Yeah,
where is he?
You need the next thing. You always you do.
So I said, I was like, okay, well, I need something to back that, to represent that.
Yeah.
And luckily, you know, I've written about 36 songs, right? And from those 36, I was like, okay, I got to pick the 12 that paint a story. I think I have enough here. And so I was able to pinpoint and then create, I was able to synthesize a sequence, right, to kind of show growth, to kind of show a start point and just not an end point, but to a marker to where it's like, okay, well, this is where this transition stops, right? But I'm going to come back with something. And that's another thing, like, that I've been on the works. I think I figured out, you know, this timeline of how this music story is going to be, the legacy that I want to leave behind if I do it, you know, the way that I have it in mind, or the intention that I have for it. But it's talking too much.
No.
Oh no! Don't tell us now. I was like, are you about to tell us your whole plan?
No.
Your whole secret?
No. But
if you are the microphone over there, speak right to the microphone.
We come out with our own album.
It really came to me, and what's great about it is that I don't know the whole thing, but I just know, like, oh, here's the middle parts. Like, I think I know what I want to do, and if I keep following this, that ending is going to tell me how it's supposed to end, and I want to. And I know I want to end it with 4 projects, like 4 concepts. That's what it is. 4 concepts, and maybe one concept isn't just one CD. You know, it's just other things, other mediums of art. You know, I'm also in like the modular world and sampling world. My buddy Conrad, you know, Light Plug, Conrad Klassen. That's the legend right there in the making, and he's in like, you know, sound parameters and warping it and just mangling it, just grabbing one sound and just one frequency, and he just unpacks it in so many different ways, and it's like we create these soundscapes together, and so I kind of want to use that a little bit as a representation of what these phases are, what these concepts are, because it's me recording in essence like what a Renaissance man looks like in this time and era, right? So that if 40 years down the road, right, when they're like, oh, let's or even 100 years, let's look in the archives. When they look at these history books, they're not going to be the same as the history books we had. They're going to have videos. They're going to have content. They're going, you know, so when they kind of laser in and focus on what FACEcadet, what's this?
Yeah.
I want them to see like, this is a world in here.
Yeah.
And it's, you know,
right.
and it's fine that if it doesn't blow now. And for me, it's totally fine because I figured out a way how to juggle my career, which I love. I love fixing things. It goes hand in hand with the message behind my music. Right? I know that in the long run, when somebody looks back, like it's going to be way more impactful, I think. Right? Especially if it's like something that I see through, I commit to, I show discipline, and something really well thought out, you know, like, get close to hitting the mark as to who you are, like who you really, really are with your flaws and everything. Like, this is it. This is the package, and this is the order, and this is where I was at with it.
Yeah.
So
every medium takes time.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the arts or not in the arts, and everybody can express something different in different mediums. Yeah. Two things. One, I wanted to say, I think it's totally beautiful that your art, your music already blossomed something in your brother-in-law for him to make his art. Like, it's like him making the cover art for your album was also his expression of something he loves to do. Yeah. And it was by listening to something you liked to do. I just think that is so cute. I just like that. And then the other thing is, do you get any conceptual ideas? Anything comes to you in your dreams? Or anything that you wake up and you're like, oh, I found the missing piece. I know you said while you're driving.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's other safer ways. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I am just curious as far as like... That's
why self-driving cars exist. It's for the artists.
That's true. I'm just curious because... it's on your mind. It's always on your mind. You go to sleep, like, yes, you do shut off in a sense, but I'm always thinking of like, this, like, you know, just whatever art project I'm doing, it's like, this thing is still ruminating somewhere in there. And your dream is like, or your dream morphs it into something, I don't know, like unlocks certain channels that you can't get when you're awake. I don't know.
You know, I should write more about or I should just write in journal more. But I don't really think too much on my dreams. There'll be some dreams I'll wake up and just be like, oh, okay, I was nuts, right? But then outside of that...
Do you not remember them a lot?
For the mostly, you know, and there's some that stay and maybe it lingers, but then after, like, once I'm working, it's gone. So what was that?
Got you, yeah.
But mostly,
they are very fleeting.
Inspiration, you know what? Inspiration really, or the aha moments, or my what I can consider something dreamlike that gives me the missing puzzle or the missing piece to the puzzle, would be when I do little trips with Sierra, when we go hiking or we travel. Things like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm just taking it in, and that's when, like, the phone's off, like the phone, you know, is in the garbage. It's not in the garbage, but we just don't
Every trip, I throw it out. I gotta get a new burner phone.
Yeah, and I'm just taking it in, and then I see somebody walking.
No, I relate to that. Yes, I feel that.
And then at some point, it's just like it just starts hitting me, like, oh, okay. Oh yes, that's the direction I gotta go, and those are the things that really inspire me. I think those are the things that give me the peace, and I think that's how I should write. I think that's how I should keep going. Like, I can write a concept, and then if there's a mental block, I'm like, all right, I'll stop. And
you can't necessarily force it.
Yeah.
It just frustrates you.
And plan something subconsciously, so that, okay, I know I'm gonna figure it out, just not now. But you know we're usually figuring things out, and I don't force it. Like Sierra usually brings up, we're gonna do a big camping trip in August, so let's go. I'm like, perfect. So perfect. You know, I'll go out there knowing what I'm supposed to do, even though, like, I have a plan. There's a baseline plan, you know, that I'm always like, this is what I need to get me to that next step, that next level. But yeah, the outdoors, vacation and going to other places, other countries.
That's lovely.
Yeah. If you could have a meal with 3 dead people, not like them being dead.
Gosh.
If you could pick 3 zombies to have dinner with. No, if you could pick like 3 people that are no longer in existence, in their physical form anymore, to have a meal with, what meal would it be? And also, who are the people?
What meal would it be?
Yeah.
I probably.
Brendan took a rip of the bong, so he's a little hungry.
Yeah, there's one destination on Sessions with Mary Jane. It's to the refrigerator.
Probably a falafel platter.
Nice. Good choice.
That is very good choice.
Says Sarah rolled her eyes.
Yeah.
I always bring it up. What do you want to eat falafel? Even though I don't want it, just hates falafel.
So who are the three individuals?
Damn. Okay. So if we go old, I'll probably say Jesus. So,
Right.
Jesus probably love falafel.
Yeah.
What's up? Yo, I got this water here. Let's get turned.
No, right?
Ah.
Right, doing it like a lakeside, and then it's just a lake.
It gets so turned. He's like, yo, Neil, we do this.
Who else? Let's see. Music wise.
I got Jesus is number one.
Of course.
Oh, yo.
You got a lot to say.
Go big or go home.
I know, but where do you go from Jesus? That's what I'm saying. He's first, but you didn't end with him, so I'm curious who the next thing was.
Believe it or not, I probably
Like one of your cats.
No. I want to say. I really want to say. I want to say MJ, Michael Jackson.
Nice, yeah.
That'd be,
Yeah.
Okay, and
You can't deny the art
I got
of
it. No. Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Hey, yeah.
Nice.
What a trio.
Yeah.
Come on.
God.
Wow.
That would be a good dinner party.
Yeah.
You feel me? You know how much I learned?
Yeah.
I'm processing that right now. Wow.
I don't think there's anything left.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
thank you for being on Sessions with Mary Jane.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Who add like your handles, anything you have coming up, where people can find you, want to plug?
Yes, just at FACEcadet, FACEcadet.xyz. It's the website. And just be on the lookout for some visuals. Yeah, some music videos. Get ready.
Yeah.
And a small little side project, one of my homies, Conrad Klassen, at Conrad Klassen, peace, the Calvary.
Yes.
Nice.
So keep those eyes open, keep those ears also open. Keep your mouth open when it's the right time. And also keep your heart and your mind open.
Also, check out lnhstudios.com. We just released our short film, Knock, for free on YouTube, so you guys can get that there. And we got a comedy show coming up this Saturday, November 26th, at Annabella's House of Mozzarella in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We got some funny comics on that. And then Late Night Hump is coming back in December. Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled on our website, December 9th
our
and
improv
10th.
show.
We have improv shows.
Yes.
Yeah, Late Night Hump, so check those out. Thank you so much, Freddie, for coming on.
Yes.
It was a wonder to talk to you today.
Yeah.
We didn't even give you a challenge because you jumped in so quickly.
Yeah.
But you know what?
You were too interesting for a challenge. We couldn't let's just find out more about you.
Oh,
That's like celebrity status.
The challenge is trying to figure out what Jesus, Bruce Lee, what that conversation is like. That's the challenge.
Yes, we'll imagine them having us like a spark.
Over falafel.